Mm-hmm. 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 So, that's hello, work, hop, chant, fart. Okay. Exoddus. One life run, January 2022. I have no idea how this is going to go. I have no idea how long this is going to go. I have no idea how successful this will be. And if we die in the first secret passage, we do not speak of this.
Wait.
And then he goes.
Follow me.
That was a little too razor close. No!
Follow me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wait. Follow me. Follow me. Wait.
I was really worried that he was just gonna stare at me and then run into the electric wall.
Follow me.
Necrum Mine Mudokons are just conniving.
Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Oh yeah. Where?
1, 2, 3. It still feels so slow to me. I'm so used to the NTSC version and the PC version. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. Oomph. No. I'm not in the mood for you. There we go. Boom, boom. Oh yeah. Everything's at least sounding better than it was before, and that's the important thing.
Sorry. Okay. Follow me. Okay.
That puts me at 14.
Hi. Follow me. Okay. Wait.
Bum. Ah ba da ba da bum. Ya ba da ba da bum ba da bum ba da ba dum. Ba doop whoop whoop. Ba ba da ba 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 ba. this should put me at 16. Oh, 1, 2. Yeah. In other news, something that I thought was really cool, and potentially coincides with one of the next Let's Plays / streams that I'm going to be uploading on the side of stuff. It's going to depend on how some of the other stuff I recorded pans out. But I found out that the original Zool is coming to the Evercade, which to me is a big freaking deal because like, Abe was my childhood through a lot of my adolescence, along with Final Fantasy VII. Late adolescence was taken up primarily with Rayman and Sonic. But a lot of my younger infancy was primarily with Amiga and Acorn games, so with Zool. And yeah, knowing that Zool's getting ported to the Evercade is nuts to me. Like, we already got redimensioned last year. We didn't need any more Zool, but seeing more Zool makes me so happy, like you would not believe. It's absolutely nuts. Sneak behind Slig. Yeah, that's the one thing that keeps taking me away from wanting to eat more gummies, is I know I'm going to turn into a sugar-filled chipmunk if I do that too much. And I will not subject you to the sound that makes when I try to talk through it. Ba, beep, ba, ba, beep, ba, beep, ba, ba, beep, ba, beep, ba, ba, beep. And a one, and a two. I wonder if it is possible to modify the code of a bird portal so that it encourages Mudokons to run towards it from a further away distance. Because I know that in Abe's Odyssey, for example, there is a certain threshold distance that will encourage Mudokons to run towards a portal, but you can stop chanting before they get within a certain distance, and they can then just run to where the portal was and not jump through it because you've closed it. I don't know if you can pull that off in Exoddus. Off the top of my head, I don't know. I know I have inadvertently done it a lot with Odyssey. As early as last week, sorry, not last week. I got nervous that I shot the Mudokon there. No, not last week. Monday. I know on Monday I uploaded a clip of exactly that happening. So I know it's definitely an Odyssey thing. But I don't know if the bird portals are programmed in such a way that you could widen the distance where Mudokons would be encouraged to run towards it and escape. Because the idea is basically, if I chanted here, and then every Mudokon on this line of platform that is not separated by a wall would run as far as they need to go to get to it.
Follow me. Okay.
That's my thinking. Because I know that in the demo, it's either this portal or the portal with the other Mudokon. If you chance to open it, the Mudokon will run towards it. But in the full release, that is not the case. I think it's actually the next Mudokon. The one next to the reset well. So yeah, you can go through this section in the foreground in the demo version, and when you get to here, you chant to open the portal from the foreground, and the Mudokon will run all the way to the portal and jump through it. And I don't think the other two do that. At most, I think the closest one to the portal might do it. But yeah, I've been wondering about that a little bit, on and off, just vacantly. And I was curious if you'd be able to adjust the coding of the bird portal so that a Mudokon who is this far away, when a bird portal on his ledge gets opened,
Follow me.
regardless of how far away he is, if he's on the same ledge as it, he will run from point A to point B to get to the portal and jump through it. Because I wonder if that would pull him away from the slig and he'd just be fine because the slig is off screen. And I'm genuinely curious if anyone's played around with the level editor and if it turns out that the bird portals have that kind of code in them. I'm genuinely curious. Because now it's in my head and I want to know. I think it would just be funny if the bird portals behave that way. I'm not saying I want them to behave that way, I'm just very intrigued. In a situation like that, it has a lot of benefits. In some other situations, it could be an absolute freaking nightmare. Okay, good. I thought that the audio was desyncing for a second there. More often than not, I do notice desync tends to be more frequently when it has to go through the converter for the HDMI. So there's a little bit of a buffer time between it going from composite to HDMI. So I know that the buffer time, I think on that, the longer the converter is on, the more it just builds up.
Follow me. Okay.
But I wasn't sure if it did it for the just for straight RCA straight through to the capture card. So I've been curious about that, and now I know.
Work.
Beautiful. Okay. More gummies. And wants everyone to die.
Follow me.
That counts. That totally counts. Oh my goodness. I had a horrible thought, which was, could you imagine if they had unions in Oddworld? And the immediate thought that came after that was, of course not. The Gluckons would order that the Sligs shoot Mudokons on sight if they were going to have a union. Because in the terms of Oddworld, working for the Magog cartel, your workers' rights are you're allowed to live. Abe is the closest thing to a union that they have. I mean, it feels dark enough that the Mudokon eggs are called labor eggs. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that. Oh, we're in a bit of a moral dilemma here because that also suggests that the Magog cartel acknowledge being a mother as being a full-time job and therefore a form of labor. Which, I mean, that's that's kind of how pregnancy ends, is, you know, labor. But point being, there's the double meat. This is okay. This is just a dumb conversation. This is a dumb. How have I? I'm gonna have to edit this into the Munch's Odyssey playthrough when that starts getting edited and uploaded, because this is just a weird as heck tangent that makes no flitting sense. Okay, actually, it does make sense. And that's the worst part. I don't know. Who would have thought the Gluckons would acknowledge being a mother as being a full-time job even more than human beings? That's... wow. Yeah, not all human beings, just certain ones.
Hi, you will follow me. Okay.
Oh no, you don't. Come back here. Okay, I saw the gummies move for a second there because my phone was leaning on the bag. And I panicked because it meant that a red one popped into my periphery. So I thought that something had died off screen, and I'm like, I don't think I was close to a Mudokon. Whee! Freeze! There we go. Clean as a whistle. Bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Four more. And a 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. As much as I absolutely love the PAL version, I mean, again, it's what I grew up with. I think I am definitely seeing the benefits of continuing doing the One Life challenges, either with the PC version or just with the NTSC version of the game. The frame rate is a lot more consistent with nearly every other port that this game has had. So, yeah, well, there are slower aspects to this, and I do kind of like... Sometimes I do like the pauses that are in the music, and that's kind of become intrinsically in my mind, that I'm used to hearing the music loops have a pause in them, which I am actually going to be factoring back into some of the area mixes that I make when I get to the Exoddus ones, which, over the course of this year, I am hoping to get all of the Abe's Odyssey soundtrack remix, medley, majiggers fixed It's going to happen. And then I'm gonna do Exoddus ones, but Exoddus ones I'd played around with already, and I think the main difference is new and tasty. Kind of gave me a little bit more to play around with on this front. So, new and tasty's given me a little bit more work to do. I think the best example so far with those mixes has been when I did the Mosaic Lines one. The Rupture Farms one is going to be the most beefy. I've given it a pass already, and I'm happy with what I'm sitting with. But it does require a bit of tidy up. I don't think it's a level where I am comfortable with the structure, because again, I've got two different versions of a remixed version of the Rupture Farms music. There's the beta track of the Element Mix. There's track M21, which is like a doof bass. And then there's the beta possession music. Oh, it was dumb. Up. You heard me. Yeah, let's not roll off the edge if we can avoid it. Bam. Ba-da-ba-da-ba, da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-ba-da-ba, ba-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. That's just funny to me. Oh my wow. Oh, okay. That's just funny to me because I consciously made the choice to step closer. Okay.